Good afternoon. I'm Madi Codispoti with your feature interview. On March 27th, Emory and Henry President John Wells announced that the school would be transitioning to Emory and Henry University in the fall of 2024. But what comes with that change? Joining me today is the school's provost, Dr. Michael Puglisi. How are you?
I'm fine, Maddie. It's good to be with you today.
Awesome. So can you tell us how long this has been in consideration for the change?
Well, it's been in conversation for a number of years, but it became central to the strategic plan that we began developing in the fall of 2021 and carried it through as we're seeking to move Emory and Henry to a new level as an educational institution, and transitioning to university was a central part of that.
Yeah, so can you walk us through the process of going from, just kind of in talks to officially making the announcement?
Yeah, it was, we formed a committee in the fall of 2021 that I chaired that was composed of representatives from across campus to discuss initiatives for elevating the institution. And part of that involved increasing the profile of Emory and Henry in the region and beyond. And the way to do that was to transition to university, which really was just a recognition of the institution we've already become. We are already operating as a university, and so it's really just a matter of changing the title.
Yeah, and so can you kind of explain for those of us who may not know what the main difference between a university and a college is?
Well, characteristics of a university, for instance, would be an institution with multiple campuses, which we have, of course, with graduate programs, including doctoral programs, and just a larger diversity in the offerings that the institution provides for its students. Yeah,
of course. So what are the benefits for students if the school becomes a university, or when it becomes a university?
Well, I think for one thing, it's the change to university is going to attract more resources for us. Students will certainly benefit from that. But I think there's also a certain prestige in attending and graduating from a university. We've already had alumni ask if they could get new diplomas once we make that switch. But it really puts us on a par with a higher level of educational institution.
Yeah, of course. And so kind of we've talked about the process of making the decision. So what will the process of actually becoming the university look like starting, from the announcement until the fall of 24?
Well, there are a number of things that have to be done between now and the fall of 24. We have to, of course, notify all of our accrediting agencies and professional organizations that we belong to. There's a certain process that goes with that. In each situation is different. But internally, as I said, in operations, we really are operating as a university. But we'll need to do all the little things, all the details, like changing letterhead on our college stationery, obviously changing out the logo wear in the bookstore that we have for sale, just a variety of things that to have us ready in time for the fall of 2024 when we open as Emory and Henry University.
Of course. And I know with any big change, there's going to be, a little bit of, concern. So have you guys received any sort of pushback from alumni or even students?
Not much at all, to be honest. I think the fact that we've been talking about it for a number of years has already, prepared the alumni for the change. Gotten very few negative comments. It's mostly been very positive. Very proud of the institution that we have become, that they graduated from even before this point. I haven't heard any negativity from our faculty, staff, or students. I think everyone's ready for it. Yeah. I think it's, as I said, it's the institution we already are. We're just now going to recognize it and put that out there in a very proud way.
Of course. And so with the change to the university, obviously we've had some big freshman classes in the past few years, and this change to university could bring in even bigger classes. Does this college have a plan for accommodating for that influx of students?
Well, that's a challenge, of course, but it's a good challenge to have. But we do recognize, even in some of the programs that we are beginning to develop that are not yet approved or even publicly announced, that we are going to have to expand space. We're going to have to find space. Of course, we're opening up the new college apartments across the College Drive next year. That's going to be a wonderful addition for housing for students. We've got the two projects at the interstate that we're currently raising funds for, the multi-sport track complex and the new equestrian area at the other corner. And so, we're expanding the resources that we have to accommodate and bring in more students, as you suggested.
Yeah, of course. Well, Dr. Puglisi, thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you for kind of giving us more of an insight of what this change is going to look like.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. That's all for your feature interview. I'm Madi Codispoti. Have a great week, and now over to Josh Britz with your sports update.